This is going to be a different kind of vlog. Another cardiac arrest 3 days ago. Just released from the hospital today. I was feeling super good until I arrived home. The driveway right here is where I had a cardiac arrest on Friday. All of a sudden I collapsed, my heart stopped, and then the defibrillator inside my chest shocked me, brought me back to life. The bottom of my heart, about 40% of it, destroyed in my massive heart attack. I hit my face, and I feel a huge bump. There is dark blood leaking out of it all over my face. Call 911, feeling really bad, and wait for the ambulance. It's a horrible, powerless feeling of sucking the life out of you, which makes total sense, right? Because you're dying. Your core self is being taken away. And that's how it feels like. Once you're really on the way to dying, like when I died the 6 minutes, it's very peaceful. And it's a paradox because I should not be able to talk to you right now because I should be dead for the past 3 days. Except right now, I'm scared. And certainly do not ever shame them or tell them not to cry. Please share your suffering when it happens. And anybody that will shame you is not somebody you want to keep around. Well, this is going to be a different kind, I don't need that. This is going to be a different kind of vlog or video because here is what happened. I just came back from the hospital this afternoon after having another cardiac arrest on Friday, less than like 3 days ago. And I was just released from the hospital today, and Stephanie, my amazing little sunshine, brought me back home and stayed with me a little bit, and then she had to go because she's moving today from Chapel Hill to Raleigh. So of course I wanted her to go on with her life, just the way it should be. And I was so grateful that she picked me up, and I was feeling super happy. Oh my gosh, it's so hot and so humid. It's very humid because we are in North Carolina. And so I was feeling super good until I arrived home. And normally home makes me happy, but in that case, I saw the driveway, and the driveway right here is where I had a cardiac arrest on Friday. So I was just loading the car to go see Stephanie actually in Chapel Hill, and all of a sudden I collapsed. My heart stopped. I did what they call a VT and then VF for about 40 seconds, I think they say. And then the defibrillator inside my chest shocked me, brought me back to life. And when I woke up, I was pushing on my hands with my face on the driveway, and you saw the photos. I will insert it here so for those of you who have not seen it. So I didn't know then. All I knew was that I was pushing on the driveway, seeing the concrete, having no idea what had happened, just knowing that I felt horrible, that it was very hard to even get on my fours, on my legs, on my knees, and on my hands. And I thought it was like a blood pressure thing. I had no idea that my heart went crazy. So it basically went at super high speed. Instead of being boom, 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 it went at such a high speed from an electrical issue. The bottom of my heart, about 40% of it, was destroyed in my massive heart attack 2 years or 2 years and a half ago. And so apparently that scar tissue that's enormous can create electrical impulse, and that made the heart going from, instead of going ba-boom, 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 it went brr, 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 brr. And the result of that is that there is no more blood going to my brain, to the rest of my body, to nothing. So I felt from my height, I hit my face, and I chipped my teeth, I cut my lips in the process. And I had that big bruise that you saw in the photo. I didn't know yet that happened, and I hit my eye too. And so I'm trying barely to get back on my fours, and I touch my head, and I feel a huge bump that instantly swelled, and there is dark blood leaking out of it all over my face. Lots of dark blood, and I look at my fingers, and at this stage I'm still recovering from my heart having stopped from the cardiac arrest, and I'm totally not understanding what's happening. I go inside the house, I'm living alone, barely make it inside, and then at some stage just call 911 because that's the only thing there is to do, because I'm feeling really bad, and wait for the ambulance. Oh no, what also triggered me is that I look in the mirror. I had not seen, I was feeling it, but I didn't understand why I was so swollen out of nowhere without remembering what happened. And so when I see it in the mirror, I'm like, definitely in pretty panic mode. Not a lot of things, almost nothing will make me panic health-wise because I've been through so much. Let me get a paper towel because it's really so hot, the one I threw away. Pretty much nothing will make me panic, but that did it. And so, long story short, and why I'm making that video today is because when all of those memories came back, when I came back to the driveway and there was my head blood on the driveway when we left with the EMS and the ambulance. I'm making that video today because most of my videos are very happy, very upbeat, very, you guys call it inspirational. I will never say that because that will not be humble. But I'm glad that I bring love and support and joy and smiles to you because that's the only goal of making them. And no matter how bad my life can be, financially, physically, otherwise, even in the middle of those past 3 days in the hospital or the emergency room, for whatever reason, which is pure luck, I will find a way to have a great spirit and to look for happy things and to look for what's beautiful around me and the love and connect to people. I do all of that. But guess what? There are times where I don't, where things are so unexpectedly overwhelming or scary or worrisome or I get fearful and it's beyond my control. And when I arrived here and I saw the blood and I felt the driveway and I felt like at every second I could be sucked in, because the feeling that either my massive heart attack where I died for 6 minutes 2 years ago or that cardiac arrest of Friday, it's a horrible, powerless feeling of something is sucking you, sucking the life out of you, which makes total sense, right? Because you're dying. So sucking, but that's the way I would describe it, even if it was not about dying. Sucking the power, the strength, the life, the core, the soul out of you. Your core self is being taken away. And that's how it feels like. And so the problem is that now when I came back and when Stephanie was ready to leave, it started a little bit when I saw the driveway and when I went back inside my house, because I went to it was the first time I was coming back home, and the floor on my entrance was a huge mess because that's where I kind of collapsed again, waiting for the EMS, being on the phone with 911, and I saw my face for the first time. So that's where it happened. And when I came back home, I saw the huge mess on the floor. The carpet moved, the flowers banged, because everything was really, really bad on Friday. Very scary and panicky mode. And so I saw all of that, and all of that came to rush to my head, and every step I did, I literally felt like it was going to happen again. And I was going to have cardiac arrest again, which I could, because now we don't know if it's going to happen again to me in 2 minutes, or in 2 months, or in 2 years. The odds are high it will happen again, but we don't know when. And it's that horrible, horrible feeling. So the dying part, once you're really on the way to dying, like when I died, the 6 minutes, it's very peaceful. I'm creating with a dear friend a video about that, which hopefully I will post at some stage. But that part is different, very serene, very peaceful. But the cardiac arrest, no, terrible feeling. And when I came back here, all those emotions rushed back to me, and I felt tremendous anxiety, tremendous fear. I went up the stairs. I'm like, what about if it's going to happen again right now? Because it's so fresh to my memory, to my entire being. It was a horrible feeling. I got a lot of fear from it. And it's a paradox, because I should not be able to talk to you right now, because I should be dead for the past 3 days. Because, you know, if I didn't have the ICD, the defibrillator inside, I would be gone. Like they told me so many times at the hospital, that thing saved your life. And they said we find people dead in their house all the time from cardiac arrest. That's one of the main ways that you die. And so I feel all those emotions, which is a huge amount of gratefulness, a huge amount of gratefulness for the people who created the ICD and who implanted it in me and who participated in it, all the way from the bookkeeper of the company creating the ICD to the surgeon who inserted it in my chest. So immense gratefulness. And also, I feel like I'm totally on borrowed times right now. But for whatever happened, I felt very down, scared, fearful. And I wanted to do that video right now because, again, it's very important that you know that I get down at times if things are bad enough or if it's randomly overwhelming. But it's life, you know. A lot of it, we can find wonderment, big car passing by. A lot of it you can find wonderment, and some of it just takes you down, and it's okay. It's very okay. That's why I'm making that video right now. In that case, what you switch to is compassion for your fear. Accept it. Accept right now I'm scared. Right now I'm deeply anxious. Right now I don't know what to do to feel better. And then you reach out to friends, to people who truly care for you, not those who only care for you when you are there for them, or who care for you because they get something out of it, the people who really want to help. And I'm so lucky to have quite many of those around me. So, don't keep your fear inside. That would be my modest advice. Certainly never ever be ashamed of it. One of the things that I like the least, as in dislike a lot, in the American culture is don't cry, stop crying. You don't need to cry for that, really stop crying. I just can't stand that expression. If you're crying, you have overwhelming emotions. It means you're human. It means you have feelings. It means you're sensitive. It means you have all the beautiful things that makes a human compared to a robot. So crying is beautiful. It's even more beautiful if you're so lucky that you have somebody around when you cry that's going to embrace it, that's going to give you a hug, that's going to love you, that's going to say, how can I help you? What can I do? Do you want me to hold you? Do you want me to listen to you? Do you want me to talk to you? Do you want me to cheer you up? Do you want me to shut up? What do you want me to do? Customize me to be there for you, because right now you're down and I'm not, which is pure luck. I want to help you. So crying is beautiful. One of the quotes in my book, which I wrote when I started to learn a lot about people and emotions and sensitivity, I'm not sure if we can use both, but you know what I mean, is tears are the most beautiful invitation a woman will ever make you to her heart. P.S. Do not ever miss a chance to RSVP. If somebody is expressing tears to you, it's a huge gift. Please take it as a gift. Be there for them, love them, hold them up, don't let them drown, and certainly do not ever shame them or tell them not to cry. It will be pretty much the same to me. I'm so against that expression. It will be pretty much the same to me than to say to a child, don't smile, don't laugh, don't love, don't find the butterfly beautiful. That will be insane. We'll never do that, right? Why do we do that with people? So, and of course that applies to men equally than women. I wrote a quote about women, I'm not sure why at that time. And so, but please, men, cry the same. I've cried many times in my life. I won't hesitate to cry if it comes. Just be free and be in sync with your emotions. So, long story short, and aside from that tangent, if you feel super down, like I felt, accept it. Go, okay, I'm feeling really like crap right now. I'm feeling really down. What can I do? Do you have any options? And the options are do something that might feel good. In that case, there was not much I could do that would make me feel good. Having a dear friend offering support helps a lot, tremendously. Reach out to really caring friends. Reach out to your children if they are amazing, loving children like mine. Reach out to your parents. Reach out to your brother, sister, best friend, anybody. But reach out. Just say, voice it. It's so simple. I'm feeling really bad right now. I don't know why. I don't know what to do about it. I'm feeling bad. So I just wanted to do that video tonight, just to express that, because wherever I go in a house now or in a driveway, I have fear. It comes back rushing to me. I have the fear that, like when I get up from this chair, I'm going to have my heart stop. And I'm going to have that horrible feeling, and I'm going to collapse on the ground and hit my face again. And I'll post a couple of photos. I mean, that was 3 days ago, but my eye still looks really bad, and it hurts as much as it looks. My bump, for whatever miracle, reduced 90% during the hospital stay. Don't know why, but so grateful for it. My teeth, they are chipped. My lips, they are bursted inside. All of that will heal, but the emotions are hard. Oh, and also, one super not good news that they gave me literally 2 minutes before I left the hospital is, by the way, for the coming several weeks, you can drive. Can't drive at all. We don't know if you VT or VF, I never know the difference between the two, is going to start again. If you're going to trigger that again, if that happened while I was driving, of course I will crash into something much worse. I will crash into someone. If I crash into something and I die, I die. It's between me and me. But crashing into somebody, I will feel terrible. Basically, they say you can drive at all, and before we check things again. So it's manageable, but that combined with all the nightmare feelings rushing back to my mind and to my soul and to my spirit and to my whole being felt horrible. And right now, I still feel pretty bad. You know, I've been prescribed so many clonazepam, Xanax, all of that over the past 2.5 years of 8 surgeries, as you can imagine, and lots of fears and lots of pain and lots of anxiety. But I still have 95% of it, because only in an extreme case I will have recourse to it, which I'm not saying at all is a bad thing. Same thing with drugs, same thing with alcohol, same thing with many things. If it works for you and you don't hurt yourself and you don't hurt somebody else, do anything. There is no right or wrong. So my point is, please share your pain, share your suffering when it happens. Never, ever be ashamed. And anybody that will shame you is not somebody you want to keep around, okay? And even if it's your family or your partner, keep them around. Of course, you're not going to, eliminate them, but don't rely on them whatsoever emotionally. Just, discount that part from them. And so never, ever feel bad about expressing your feelings publicly, privately, to a friend, to anybody. I've had so many friends crying in my arms because they were overwhelmed by something, a horrible breakup, a horrible situation at job, a rape, abuse, something. It doesn't matter. If it's big and you're crying, you must express it so somebody who truly cares for you and wants nothing from you except loving you and helping you will be there for you. So that will be my modest advice. Just be fully transparent with the happy, like I am most of the time in what I share, and transparent with the suffering, the emotional suffering, the emotional despair, the fears, like I'm doing exactly right now. So, and please don't hesitate to share on my wall, on Facebook, on that video, anywhere. Even voice it in writing. I'm struggling a lot with this today, with anything. Voice it, just share it. It helps so much to start that, and you will be surprised that some people, even strangers, will see it and reach out to you. And guess what? Love is love. Doesn't matter if it started an hour ago from sharing online or if it started 20 years ago. Just in that moment, accept where you are. Have great compassion for yourself. Never judge yourself about it. Don't go, I shouldn't think that, I shouldn't feel that. Nah. If you feel bad, share it, transparent, and have great love and compassion for your suffering, and other people will join in, I promise. And I will join in. So just let me know if you're in a down day like I am right now, okay? And I love you.